Yo, yo, what's happening, beasts? This is your boy ARJ here, bringing you, some more GAC action. And this is going to be the final round of the week, and it's going to be formatted differently this time, because I managed to fall off of a ladder, approximately probably 6 to 8 feet, and yeah, managed to fall backwards, and therefore suspending myself on the ladder by my ankles and my shins, and I have 2 very large slices along the outsides of my thighs, so I'm very uncomfortable sitting for periods of time. So I wasn't able to stream this final round, but I did record the footage on the side, and yeah, I just thought that I'll do a voiceover of the battles instead of the typical live stream format that you're used to. So again, I apologize, this isn't in the usual format. I hope that you still enjoy nevertheless. And yeah, I will hop into the compares for you before we review the footage. Okay guys, so this is how the compare is looking for us, or was looking for us, because this is after the fact. So we are up against Thrakaz, who's a part of the Aussie Dingoes, and he has 2,500 offensive wins over us. Only 200 undermans, quite a few defends extra, and yeah, quite a lot of full clears at least. So our opponent is definitely efficient from, well, a full clear perspective at least. GP-wise, we are both exactly the same pretty much, excluding probably between 0 and 10, well, 0 and 100,000 I suppose. Got us on ship GP and character GP. So he's got us by 63 Zetas and GAC Omicrons, but weirdly we have more Omicrons overall. So Gear 13s, we've got him 25 pluses. Again, we have him, but across the board. And yeah, he just has 275-ish mods more than us. So again, these middle numbers will be more fleshed out than what we have. And then we have him from an offensive perspective with mods too. So despite us being the same in relic in GP, he does have us, or we have him, sorry, with actual relics. So yeah, more level 9s or relic 9s, a couple more relic 8s. So yeah, we're doing pretty well, and we've got him by 1 whole Datacron reroll. But usually I skip through all of this part, but this one deserves a special shout out because our opponent has 12.8 million GP and does not have GL Rey. So I'm thinking that he is maybe a hater of the sequels. So, you know, he's refusing to farm her. But it should hopefully make my life easier because, again, Rey is such a strong defensive GL that, yeah, it can be painful. So means we won't be actually stuck behind a Rey this time, which is nice. So yeah, let's go and see how this goes. Okay guys, so this is the first fight that we're going to be going in against. So this is Jabba versus QA. The QA team does have slightly less relics than usual, but yeah, still not going to try and go too cheaply with this counter. So let's see how this goes. Just showing the Cron here where we got the light side resistor debuff, and yeah, nothing crazy from a Cron perspective. So we just do the typical opening move, so just trying to get as many bombs onto Padawan Obi-Wan as possible. And then I go for a slightly different start here. Just trying to stack up as many bombs as possible. Because again, this is obviously a Relic 7 here that we're dealing with. So again, no need to do anything else other than the basic there. Again, just trying to get the basics in as well. You know, just trying to feed Jabba's ultimate because for some reason in 3v3 it always does go very slow. And as you've seen, Padawan Obi-Wan is dead. So we are now moving on to Master Qui-Gon next. Just to try and whittle down as much as possible. Again, Skiff isn't really offering a lot here. It's just more for swaps into Jabba. Again, just more basics, trying to feed Jabba's ultimate. And again, trying to get rid of those debuffs off of Bush Leia if possible. Like so. Yeah, nothing too exciting going on here, guys. Just, we've taken the majority of the teeth out of the team. Master Qui-Gon can start dealing some big damage, which is why we're trying to get him out first. Again, we're 85% to contract, 60% to ultimate. And just getting small buff immunity on him where possible. So we go for the bomb throw there, just to get the contract. Which will really help us. We're getting nice and low. At around, there's ultimate in the back seat. I thought that I'd be able to kill him, but obviously not. And there's the eat. So in comes the hungry Rancor. So yeah, at this point we are just all in on Qui-Gon. Trying to save as much banners as possible, if we can get that full 57. And bombs away. There it is, full 67 banners because of the plus 10 from the start. Great way to start the GAC. And yeah, I just wanted to pause that for a second there. So our opponent, I may actually click out into this. No, so this is our opponent's score. That is indeed a full clear right there. So yeah, he's given us a lot of opportunity to try and get through here. So the next battle that we're going to move into is the GL Ahsoka. I lied. The next one is up against Baylan. So again, if you watch the round 2 footage, or might have even been round 1 actually, we did in fact use Sidious to beat Baylan. So we thought we'd go ahead and try it here as well. This battle, nothing crazy, just AoEs as much as possible. Does start look a little bit scary when, you know, you get quite a lot of dodges. I think that was pretty good timing, as Shin actually did dodge right there. Yeah, Baylan's right in the red now. There goes Baylan. Again, she's under DI, and now he is. There we go. Crazy lightsabers being thrown everywhere. 59 banners. Beautiful. It was a good start. Two max banner victories. And this time round, I wanted to try Mauldalorians rather than using Sith Eternal, just to see how the battle would fall out. Again, I wanted to go for the high tenacity to avoid the dazes from gas if possible. Didn't check the potency until I think I get into the battle. So we actually do get the daze on ISC here, which is never good. Starts to look a little bit scary. Then they counterattack him 6 billion times. And then we try to get the 5th stack of Anguish here, which we succeed with. And now we've got Maul all riled up, ready to rip through the sides. making light work of gas for a nice 55 with being able to keep Sith Eternal, which is always nice. So the two dreaded teams of the South are still here. Going with the typical counter, except for me, I haven't got 5s modded very well to be able to make this counter work. Almost clicked on the wrong mace as well there, even though mace is already selected. We nearly went double mace. And then realised that we do indeed want cat here. Here's me trying to remember which cron that I need, which is, of course, the Hoarder cron right now. Getting myself ready for the battle. Don't want to skip it 30 seconds because of that. I like hitting SLKR at the start, and it was brought up to me by one of my followers and good friend of mine, Striker. So shout out Striker if you do watch this. Because by hitting crew off the beginning, you're essentially just feeding ultimate to SLKR. Just not much, but it's a slight change, deviation to the counter that can definitely feel good. So again, just decide to take the buffs away here, which is very rare for Mace to actually get this stun off. So order of operations is slightly different to usual. And again, Cat is stunned with 0 TM and is now feared as well. Again, looking at this in hindsight, I probably could have used middle. Well, actually, I needed to use middle on myself because we need to get to ultimate. So there's one Mace out, and he's surviving on just a slither of health there. There he goes. Things not looking good for us here. Obviously, I know how this battle pans out. But you guys don't. Unless you're psychic and you can read my mind. So again, we've got ultimate. We're just hoping and praying now that we actually get around here. And with JMK taking a turn, that it doesn't proc Dark Ray to do a basic on on Cat. We get lucky. She does the basic on JMK, which means that we do not get feared. And it opened up the big hit on Cat to get her out of here. So yeah, we're just going to try and rip through this Kylo Ren unmasked as quick as possible. Want to try and keep her alive. Double foresight is perfect there, so his swipe does absolutely nothing. Again, just trying to feed up more ultimate to JMK for us to try and get a full ult and really gain the benefits of the mastery. I was right. I haven't watched this footage since I've actually done the battle, so this is raw, just raw memory at this point. So again, we actually are losing quite a little bit of health here. Thought the basic would be enough, and I was correct. I'm not going to be greedy. So now we're just going to hold on to our specials and hope that we have enough to hang on in here, like now. So we go for the middle on Cat, just to ramp up that large hit. She's just about hanging on in there. Boom. Get out of here. A nice 660,000 hit on SLKR. Gives us a nice 52 banner victory. Which is, yeah. So that's all you take at that point. It's not a drop. And as you've seen from our opponent's score, we definitely wanted to see some sort of drops. This is a health modded Ezra that we're up against this time. And I wanted to try Great Mothers because I thought there's no Wat this time. We may get lucky. So here I'm deliberating which cron to go for, whether to go for the armor pen. The potency is obviously nice for Night Sister Spirit, and I opted for that over the buffs on basic. Or stacking offense, sorry. On on basic. So we go out, we go and doom Hu Yang, we bless Spirit. So you just want to take the sides out as quickly as possible. So again, I opt for the basic here because I thought that's going to be enough, which it was. Onto Ezra. I know that I can't use the third. Got that big stun on Great Mothers. Elsbeth is exiled. We miss with Spirit on the basic. I go for the call here just to get Frenzy on everyone. And then I thought I'm going for the big hit on Ezra. Dodged. Which really sucked because I was hoping that was about to be enough to get through him. We lose Elsbeth. Then go in full send on Great Mothers. Again, another deflection there on Ezra. We actually get a hit. Do we get the follow-up? No. Of course we don't. So there's like at least 4 dodges that that Ezra has taken. And then on the big hit, he does rip out Spirit, which means that we're going to have to come back and we're going to have to clean up GL Ahsoka with Ezra. I need to sneeze. Hang on. That's raw footage for you right there. Sneeze live. So again, I thought that by at least taking Hu Yang out, that we should have an easier cleanup now of dealing with this team with Ezra and just GL Ahsoka. I'm looking for my nice level 6 Cron. I was looking for my level 6 Cron, which had debuff infliction with extra damage, and I opt for the Temple Guard Cron just to get the extra resistance penetration to really try and rip through this Ezra, because again, he's health modded. So crazily enough, Leia goes first, even on a TM load. Go for the early stun, which we do not get, because there is tenacity up and down. So I suppose the tenacity is pretty much, the tenacity is back to basic. R2 getting exiled isn't the end of the world, but less than ideal. And I know that we have... I'm going to pause this a second. I know that right now we do have... obviously we've pulled Drogon's turn meter back with the log, so he's pretty much 50% loaded for true damage. But Ezra does have backup plans, so I really don't want that following hit to follow up. So again, we got him real low there, which was nice. Just did the basic for the equalize and passing it back into Leia. For some reason, I couldn't tell you why. There's the big hit on R2 getting him down. So again, we've got a fully loaded Drogon here. That's like 98% TM. So his next basic should hurt. And again, Ezra's got backup plan. But we go for the big hit anyway. Take his buffs away. Okay, so we got through the one Ezra. At this point, it is just all in, trying to get him out as soon as possible. Again, getting that stagger down. Always scary when Drogon is out in the open like this. That stun is crucial. We go for the ult to try and bring R2 back. Do we get it? And we don't. That health modded Ezra making the difference there for surviving. Guys, I'm not going to bore you with this part because this is just these two trying to beat down on GL Ahsoka. There you go. 32 banners, so it was dead, and that was the main thing. Which this battle now allows us to go and see what is in the back. if I eventually press continue, like so. And we have a back wall. So there was Sawcron, there's Tarkins, Tuskens, GG, and then there's a Dash Vandor L3 team. So it's a pretty light back wall, you can say. Okay, guys, I'm going to just crop this recording here because I need to go and stand up, and because being sat down is really uncomfortable for me right now. So I'm going to, I will come back for the next part very shortly. For you, in a matter of seconds. There we go, guys. I am back. So let's try and get through the rest of this. Hopefully in one sitting from here, but we will see. So this is me probably just currently updating my my spreadsheet on what I plan to use and where. Just hop this forward. There we go. One more. Look at that. Burn half the video just by skipping. Okay, spoilers. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. So, haven't decided whether or not to crop that bit out or not, but it looks like we're going to go up against the Sawcron here. And one counter which is common knowledge for this is the Boba Fett sign of GGCron. So there's the summon down ones. Don't know whether the quality is dipping a little bit here. Doesn't seem the clearest of gameplay, so I do apologise. I think it's caught up now. So yeah, summon is dead again. Saw is now under stealth. We did lose Fennec there, which is scary. Could really do with her trying to get a kill, so we can regain that buff. I cannot remember. Bounty Hunter's Resolve. So just going over the stats there, just trying to work out why this seems like it is so thick when they have so much. Yeah, when they're pretty low relics, but I guess it's the extra 21% that they're getting from the Bulkron. But as you can see, guys, basics, the calls to assists are just too much for them. We overpower it for the 58. So next, we have many uses here, but we have quite a lot left over at this point here, so we can definitely afford to use Cere Malicos against this. Again, the main reason for that is because obviously Tuskens will continuously revive over and over. So the goal here is to take in Malicos, who prevents the revives altogether. Again, as much damage as we can muster. I remember something happens in this fight, so spoiler alert, I will bring it up in a second when it does happen. So, didn't realize it till afterwards. The Malicos is just casually sitting here with 23 dots. We get him just low, and there it is. So 32 dots that we're sitting with right now. Again, I was looking for bulk here, wondering how they are surviving this this onslaught from Malicos. And again, the dots nearly killed him, which is super scary. We got lucky. Again, another dodge there from Cere that time. So I decided to heal up the team a little bit. And again, calling in Malicos. Malicos at this point is just ramping so much damage. And this is me learning that Cal's middle ability is a buff dispel. So for future, Cal being there could have been nice, at least for the cleanse of the dots off of Malicos to make this battle even cleaner. And then, yeah, Chieftain is no match for boulders being thrown at him, apparently. Okay, so we're going up against GG next. The same tactic as I've been using for the majority of the week. Just using Traya. I haven't been stuck behind this team once, but I've always made sure that I've had something, either being Gungans or Traya up against this. So again, this is a pretty trivial battle. Trying to get the isolate over on Magna, even though it's not going to make much of a difference, because as we start laying into stab, that the fact of putting the taunt on him isn't going to change, because yeah, there is he now has marked, which is essentially taunt as a debuff, which I cannot stop him from gaining until he's dead. And still stuck behind the mark. The goal here is to play with the food slightly. So I could have insta-killed him, but I was trying to get the get this extra banner back on Nihilus. So I tried to drag this out as much as I can. Again, when Grievous is counter-attacking, he is applying debuffs, which is healing up Nihilus. Let's get the bonus protection there. Again, just really trying to drag this out as much as we can. Basics where we can. And then we do get it. We get the max banner. So there's a nice 57. Next. As you can see, I'm wasting no time here. And then we go Bane. Doesn't really matter who we take in as the second, because this fight is going to be over super quick. Again, just taking some crit damage. Defense doesn't really matter against this team. So as you'll see, guys, watch the counter. There you go. There's a 6-second battle with Bane. Side surviving with full health. We only take a little bit of heat to the protection. So we cannot complain. And this is Tarkin Clones we're up against next. And yeah, we're just going to throw in Reaver. Don't think I actually do. I think I do try something else here. I think I was planning on Inquisitors and then thought of applying something else, like BKM, I believe is what I end up using. Which there's, in terms of the insight data, there isn't much of a difference between the two, other than like 0.7 of a banner. Which, you know, for me is pretty negligible at this point, because I've got more than enough to chew through what is remaining. And yeah, it's not really, 0.7 of a banner isn't going to be enough to make up the difference in this one. Don't want to skip too far ahead. That's why my impatience kicked me there. Okay. So there we go. We finally get to take a turn. I decide to go for the third ability there just to get the blind out. And then Paz is an absolute menace. Let's go all in on Tarkin off the rip. Which is awesome. But we do reapply the taunt to Scorch there. But then the basic, again, we got lucky. First time we got lucky. Usually I use this counter, and whenever IG is calling to assist, it always calls Paz. But the one time when I wanted it to call BKM and dispelling the buff, it actually worked. And then Paz completely flamethrower DCT out of existence. Yeah, I'm just trying to double check my buffs here and checking on Ancestral Resolve. So yeah. Third, be done. There it is. So 55 against Tarkin there. Which didn't have anywhere else to apply BKM at this point. So it's a pretty safe place. There's the back wall done. So now it's pretty much anything that we do have left over to take out the rest. So we go Qui-Gon, yeah, against Qui-Gon we're going JML Hoarder, just a nice easy 2-man. I take this Cron in with the extra protection. Light side bulk doesn't really make a difference when there's only one other ally, but get the extra protection. Because of the Qui-Gon Omi only being applied when you don't have a GL, I just start whittling away here straight into Anakin. Bye bye. Again, he's got Foresight anyway, so we skip that, and again, just trying to get through Cam. Coin ignores Foresight anyway. Real simple 58 there. Nice and easy. Okay, we're coming over to Trench next. Throwing in the Gungans. And for those that have been out on stream recently, you will know that Tarpals and Bombardier are no longer needed in 3v3, because if your phalanx is anything like mine, he absolutely beats up and destroys every other opponent. He is a tank and an attacker in one for me. I'm sure he's racked up like 8 kills this season alone, which is yeah, pretty nice. So decide to get a stun straight on Django. Just have to deal with his shenanigans. Getting as many debuffs out as we can. Want to put the taunt onto our tank. Again, I probably, yeah, got the basic out. And unfortunately, we did get Deathmark on Django for a split second, which instantly got dispelled because Django took a turn. And then it gave us a nice opening to go straight in onto Trench. I know characters, I promise. And then, yeah, we're whittling away. Django still hasn't taken a turn at this point. Again, this is the stun level 6, hence why he isn't able to take a turn. Get the death mark. And there we go. See? Phalanx killing 2 again. I'm telling you now, guys. This is when I find out the hot utils has basically pushed an offense build to my Phalanx that I'm not aware of. So that's the only scary team there that I'm throwing my mouse around on the screen. Kelleran. Got Mon Mothma and we got Enoch. So just checking on Jocas to see what Omicrons are applied. I'm going to skip this forward a little bit. And I believe I did this in week 1. Possibly. So yeah, EP just completely rolls this team over. EP Starkiller, that is, because again, didn't find a need specifically for Starkiller this time. There we go. So again, we're just trying to get shock. So he says, and then hits the guy who already has shock and stagger. But try and get those stuns locked in. Again, I'm just trying to get Enoch out here so I can actually start critting. Tenacity down. Shock's out. Enoch is dead. And yeah, opponents didn't take a single turn. Can't ask for better than that. Mon Mothma. I decided to go with Baylan. As you're seeing, guys, I think Sith Eternal didn't even get used this round. Actually, I lied, because that's the team that I'm using against Kelran. Spoiler alert. No spoilers here. So we're just trying to take out Kyle first, because that's the only real damage that we have to worry about. So down you go. Doing the call to assist. 14 seconds in, another battle gone. Max banners. Easy peasy. And here it is. Sith Eternal. Just going in a little bit of extra health, just to be safe. Sith Eternal solo. And I always forget that I think it's only in TW where you've got to kill all the sides and then leave Kelleran to last. So I did actually link up Jocas and the tank. When in hindsight, I probably could have just gone all it, like I could have just linked Kelleran and Jocas and made my life easier. But I do like getting the tank out because he does have ability blocks, which, there we go, which can cause inconveniences. So Jocasta has pulled out the rifle. She tried to zap him and couldn't get through his protection even. At this point we're just waiting for ultimate to come around like so. Here I'm deciding whether or not I need ultimate or whether I can just keep on pushing. Yeah, we're basically 2 basics away from being into fleet, I think. Wow. 2.1 basics away from getting into fleet. And we're into fleet, where we have Executor, Malevolence, and Finalizer. I've skipped too far again. Okay, so we're doing the usual. We're doing Executrix against Executor because this is the one which is, I find, a lot more natural for myself. So you've probably heard me speak about this battle a million times, or you're probably doing it yourself. So you're just doing basics and attacking, punishing one to feed enough turn meter to Houndstooth to then inflict breached onto your TIE Fighter pilot, and the opening swarm will rip you apart. It'll enable you to call out your TIE Defender, and then you start to have a bit more control in the fight. It's always the same opening, because now the mark goes onto Scythe. Yeah, just trying to really lay into Houndstooth here. First special for the TM game, because otherwise you can end up getting caught up here. So you need to heal yourself up with Scythe. And then this is where things start to go a little bit pear-shaped for me in a second, because I'm stuck now hitting into, because I should have kept the stun. So the stun should be kept for this reason, because you can really avoid having to deal with the constant retribution attacks from Slave 1. Although, we now have all these lovely buffs to eat. So we're going to try and get Slave 1 out. Didn't get the crit, which means a full heal back to him from Exec, and we lose a TIE Fighter pilot. So we divert our attention over to punishing one. Everybody's still around. We bring out Tint next, or TIE Interceptor, to put the buff immunity on him to dispel the buffs, and it gives us a nice easy push now. These couple of stacks of formation, and he lives with a slither of health. Retribution coming out. So again, this isn't, and we lose Darth Vader. So things start looking a little bit spooky here. We go for middle to dispel all the retribution. AoE will take out Slave 1. And we're going to go all in on Xanadu Blood, which has been destroyed very quickly by Grand Moff Tarkin's fleet of interceptors. We're healing up Slave 1. We can see that Razor Crest's turn is coming up here. So the stun is definitely the play. I decide to actually bring out Starfighter here just to give us the protection recovery. To the team, try and give us a couple of extra banners. And there we go. Nice and easy. 67. Again, it's not the cleanest of battles by any means, but I did have some bad RNG going through there. But again, this is the importance of sometimes, like, even if you're not a content creator like myself, just record the battles on your phone and review the footage later. If this is just a mobile game to you. But you'll actually learn so much just from reviewing your own footage like this. Almost tempted to start a series on it, to be honest, where I can review some of my footage and try and see where I went wrong. I think that's pretty good, or at least it would be a good idea. Just going to fast forward this a little bit, guys. There we go. So we do Negotiator here against Malevolence. It's like a 2019 counter, maybe even older. But of course, I wasn't playing the game that long ago. So again, just trying to get buff immunity out here if possible, which we do not get. I actually decide to go for the middle here because I was going to try and get the ability blocks. Which I didn't get because I didn't think, again, hindsight, is those two had, before they were just obnoxiously destroyed by 5s, they both had crit hit immunity. So it was a waste doing the middle ability on Marauder because you need to be able to crit in order to get the ability block. And that one is done. We're going to lose the health banner on Anakin, but we will take the 72. Wow, that's a fast battle. I only fast forwarded 30 seconds, we're straight back in. So this is Profundity versus Finalizer. Again, super overkill for this. You may recall from two seasons back where I tried this counter with a 2-man because a 2-man would have got me the victory. But I ended up losing by a handful of banners in the end because it was either trying a 2-man and failing or just losing by banners anyway. But yeah, the drop ended up making us lose by around 15 to 20 banners. And now, yeah, we just gotta hope that we can get through this guy quick enough, which we don't, and out comes a reinforcement. So we try and get a shield disruption, which we managed to land. Instantly destroy that ship. Again, we're still stuck being disability blocked. And Finalizer is dead, giving us the 75, which is giving us a grand total of 2049 to 1939. So let's hop over to this screen now. So that means we literally got 2 and 1 for this week rather than the 1 and 2 we received last week. So definitely a positive for this week. Still many different things that I'm learning, especially through this new DataCron set. One thing I've definitely learned is that Rey HordaCron team is an absolute nuisance. I have nothing to beat that if that comes back around. I may have to look into doing the niche modding on Starkiller because that might be the only way that I'm going to get through that team. And even then, I'm not 100% sure how that is going to work. So guys, I do apologize for this footage all coming out later than expected, but again, I've been ill for the last few days, or injured for the last few days, and I'm hoping that by the time we come back around for the attack phase, that I will be ready and I'll be able to stream again. So guys, if any of you are new, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We're really trying to push from the YouTube side at the moment. And if you're wanting to support me through Patreon, I do have a Patreon link also added to the description now, which is new. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.